It's time to learn our last location adverbs. Plan to be able to list all of them easily in two categories: general location adverbs and location adverbs that are typically followed by de. The crazy fruit vendor has not been getting much business lately, mostly because the spiders drive customers away. So he's been trying to implement some new interesting marketing strategies. At the fruit stand, Joel notices that the two melons hanging down on the front of the stand look different from each other. We've learned the word donde to mean where in a question, and it's represented by these donde melons. But one of them looks like it's been squeezed into the shape of the letter A. This represents a new word, adónde, which means to where. It is really just two words put together, a and donde, but it is a single word, adónde. So it's actually equivalent to the antiquated English word whither. So to say, where are you going, you might say, adónde vas? In the fruit vendor's basket, we've already learned the word aquí, illustrated by a key. It turns out that aquí has a synonym, acá. This word almost sounds like a car, and the key is stuck into a lemon that's shaped like a car. So both aquí and acá mean here. Now remember the two spiders that we've seen before. We have ahí, which means there as in near you, and allí, which means there as in somewhere else. Well, the word allá, with a stress on ya, is represented by a spider that's even further away than the allí spider. The allá spider is sitting on a patch of grass on the stand, far removed from the basket. Allá is used to mean way over there or yonder, and it's used in some idioms that we'll learn in context. Now, Joel is fascinated by the grass that's growing on the stand now. "It's like you're growing a lawn here," he tells the fruit vendor. "Oh yes," says the vendor. "I'm cultivating my fruit stand, and I hope to grow fruit right here on the stand so I don't have to import it all." Joel notices that a backhoe, a large machine, is digging in the stand underneath the basket. It causes the basket to keep moving further and further down into the stand. This represents the word abajo, which means downward. There's another movement taking place as the basket is lowered. Some cloth is pouring out from the cracks in the basket, spreading out in all directions. The fruit merchant tells Joel, "Hey, get a t-shirt. I want people to get excited about my fruit. Put that on." Joel looks at the cloth that's seeping out of the basket. "How am I supposed to wear this?" he asks. The fabric keeps flowing out without ever ending. It's not divided into smaller pieces. He starts to wrap it around himself like a toga, but he stops because he finds it too strange. This cloth represents the word afuera, which means out or outward. So notice that the stressed syllable is wear, like you're trying to wear something. So afuera. The motion that the cloth is making coming out of the basket represents what afuera means, generally going out of some place. One more word on top of the fruit stand. In the corner of the stand, near the back, the allá spider is eating a small piece of fruit, and it keeps throwing tiny pieces of the peel over its own shoulder into the tiny trash can. The word atrás means back or backward, as illustrated by the spider throwing the trash backward. So if you think backwards to the trash, you might remember atrás. Now let's go over all of these new location adverbs. We're going to use a simple sentence example that uses ir ahí, which means to go there. But then we'll modify the adverb ahí to use some of our new adverbs. So here's the example. She was going to go there also. Let's take out the ahí and replace it with any other location adverb that we've learned. So she was going to go over there also would be ella iba a ir allá también. She was going to go outside also would be ella iba a ir afuera también. She was going to go backwards also would be ella iba a ir atrás también. And she was going to go down also would be ella iba a ir abajo también. Now, have you ever wondered what kind of special fruit is locked inside the fruit vendor's drawers? We're about to explore some more adverbs related to location, but these are special adverbs and they're used differently from the ones on top of the stand. Words like aquí, ahí, and afuera are used all by themselves, but the words that we're about to learn are often followed by the preposition de. In the drawer, there actually isn't much fruit, just a piece of peel from an expensive fruit that has been eaten. Apparently, the fruit vendor got hungry and ate his best fruit, so there's just part of the peel left. Now, it's colored yellow, like the sunshine or the day, as Jill calls it. At the center of this peel is a sharp dent. This represents the word dentro, which means inside. For example, to say inside the house, you would say dentro de la casa. Surrounding the peel are some cloth strips representing the syllable where, as we learned it on top of the stand. But this is for the word fuera without the extra a before it, just fuera, which means outside. Now that doesn't indicate outward motion, as the word afuera did. So to say outside the house, you would say fuera de la casa. Just around this cloth, a blue circle is drawn to outline this so-called merchandise. The circle represents the word cerca, which means near. For example, near the house is cerca de la casa. Further away from the peel, against an edge of the drawer, lies a green hose. This hose is as far away from the peel as possible, and it represents the word lejos. Lejos means far away. So far away from the house would be lejos de la casa. The strangest thing about the yellow peel that we're looking at here is that it has a yellow hand and a very long arm. This arm is stretched all the way from the peel's main body to the front of the drawer. It's surprising how long this arm is, and the word adelante, with the stress on lan, like long, means forward or in front. So in front of the house would be adelante de la casa. The fruit merchant is very serious about the security in this drawer. In addition to the key, he's installed some bone ribs above the drawer's content to prevent people with big hands from grabbing the fruit. These ribs are located above the peel, and the word is arriba. So arriba means above or on top, or sometimes up. Now let's practice all of these adverbs using a sentence that uses the adverb and then de. So the sentence is, he was inside the house. That's estaba dentro de la casa.
Estaba dentro de la casa.
Now let's modify this. He was outside the house. Estaba fuera de la casa.
Estaba fuera de la casa.
He was near the house. Estaba cerca de la casa.
Estaba cerca de la casa.
He was in front of the house. Estaba delante de la casa.
Estaba adelante de la casa.
He was on top of the house. Estaba arriba de la casa.
Estaba arriba de la casa.
He was far from the house. Estaba lejos de la casa.
Estaba lejos de la casa.
Now, note that these words in the drawer that we've learned are often used by themselves without the de after them, and this would be at the end of a sentence in general. So, for example, a man that was very far away would be un hombre que estaba muy lejos.
Un hombre que estaba muy lejos.
A man that was very near is un hombre que estaba muy cerca. A man that was on top could be un hombre que estaba arriba, and a man that was inside could be un hombre que estaba dentro. Now, that only works if you're not naming what they're far away from or inside of or near to. If you do that, then you follow it by de and then the noun, like dentro de la casa. If you've stored all of these words in your mind, we're ready to go over to the vegetable stand.